Yes, we want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. Remember, this is Focal Point. Focal Point is where we discuss all political issues, all trending issues, everything that matters to you, to me. We discuss it here on Focal Point. And every of our Focal Point edition, we bring in a guest who will interact with on issues concerning Nigeria, concerning Abia State, concerning the world. Remember, my name remains Emenike Irebu, the anchor of this show. And today with me is obviously a gentleman that I've known for some period. Yes, I could describe him as a true gentleman, a pastor, a politician also. I am today with in the studio Pastor Dike Nwankwo, one of the APC leaders in Abia State, and also he hails from Ukwa West, of course, Ukwa local government. You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
The last time we had interaction, it caused some turbulence.
I pray it doesn't cost today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot.
We really appreciate you. And we've been hearing what you are doing as an individual, both in the political field, and I want to say keep doing the good works you are doing, and God will keep helping you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, moving straight into the discussion of today, we are going to discuss a lot of issues from Ukwa to the political activities in Abia State now, to Sopadek and to your party. But let's first start from where we left off our last discussion here. So let's start from there. Let's look at what has been the improvement on infrastructural issues after your last complaints of it and your advice. What has been the improvement of the infrastructural issues in Ukwa? Do you still feel as though Ukwa is being marginalized, considering that you people are the major oil producing communities in the United States?
Very, very well. Thank you very much. It may interest you to know that since the last time we had this conversation here and we raised all the issues, which were very germane, nobody could doubt them, nothing has been done. It's regrettable and sad that nothing has been done. Last time I told you, Ukwa is not marginalized. Ukwa is alienated because you can't find any government presence in Ukwa, both east and west. I told you last time about the Okipe road. After our discussion, in fact, that road was completely cut off. Since then, people don't pass the road again. It got to a point that even the local government council, they can't access the council anymore. And it became so bad that our brothers from the Ukwa East angle don't have any road to access their place. So I don't know, because when I said here that last time that the governor has not shown that we are part of this government, it looked like, okay, you are talking against the governor. But it's clear, it's crystal clear that this governor does not believe that there is a people called Ukwa. He doesn't believe, because I don't know how to put it. Now, in 2018, he said Ukwa East and West should provide an alternative route, that the one Obe Hazumi Road is a federal road. That promise in 2018 till today has not seen the light of the day.
Nothing has people provided the alternative road.
Of course, you don't need a man who doesn't have a road will look for an access. So, but I tell you, there is no road to that effect. No, that promise has not been fulfilled till today. Now, you can't hear the governor come to Ukwa to commission a project. What you hear the governor do in Ukwa is to harvest a big fish. I can remember, I don't want to call names here, 3 consecutive times. The first time, a man left PDP, APC to join PDP. That was when governor came to Ukwa. One of our brothers who was in Abga, late now, when he was moving from Abga to PDP, governor came to Ukwa. Today, Tuesday as we speak, today, he'll be in Ukwa today again.
Not to commission still on harvesting.
Of course, that's what it means. I think he has never commissioned a project in Ukwa before. What he does is to come to harvest what they call big fish. A big fish. The big fish you pick in another person's pond. because every fish, if you want to be sure of a fish you are getting, go to the river and catch a fish.
But Pastor,
yes,
this particular agitation about Ukwa,
yes,
seems as though it's a private. It seems as if it's only you, because there are so many Ukwa people who are in PDP who seems as though all is well, and who are not even complaining, who are saying the governor have done so perfectly well in everything.
What is it about you? About me how? I mean,
is it only you that is making this complaint?
no, it cannot be only me. I feel the pulse of our people. No, if you don't have a road to pass, if there's no thoroughfare, everybody knows. Even those people you say are not talking, they are not talking probably because they are in government and they feel they want to secure their meal. If not, why would you not talk? As a matter of fact, it is when you are in government that you have access to the governor that you can make your case. But the reverse is the case. But I also wouldn't blame them much. For example, in Okwa West, I remember 3 consecutive times PDP stakeholders, leaders in Okwa, our brothers, went to see the governor in his country home, Omobewa. They went there. They met the governor. They had a useful conversation. They came back rejoicing and gave us feedback that, oh, very soon everything will be fine. And we're happy. My brother, we have waited and we have waited and we have waited. Now, another group of people again from the same Okwa visited him now in Aba, the government lodge in Aba. Again, we are showing pictures, we saw a useful conversation, it was a wonderful meeting and all of that. We were happy. And most of us encouraged them and said, thank God. They said, hold on, governor said, just give me some time and we are going to
resolve this issue.
Nothing has happened. In fact, one of the promises he made to them was that they will bring some people to join him on a delegation to see the Honorable Minister of Nigerian Affairs. So His Excellency Godswill Akpabio, till today, nothing has happened. But you and I know that if a governor wants to get or they have an audience with the minister, he doesn't need Okwa people to do that. He doesn't need for people to get 1 or 2 persons to do that. Just a call away. Honorable Minister, please, I need to talk with you. It has become an emergency. Incidentally, the road in question is even used more by people from Akwa Ibom State, which should arouse some sentiments from
Akwa Ibom go to Port Harcourt.
Exactly. Akwa Ibom people use that Obe Hasumi road more. So the sentiment is there. Honorable Minister, this is our road. It concerns you, it concerns us. You can't abandon it. You are the one sitting at the end of affairs in Nigeria affairs. You can't abandon this road. The governor can do that. It won't cost him anything. He doesn't need a delegation. The governor does not need OPA delegation.
Another question that they keep asking also from the PDP flank is that as APC members, yes, what have you people done as regards this project, this road? Can't you, as a leader of APC, write or visit or do something about that road? Or can't APC leadership in Abia State consider that with the federal road, do something about that road during the federal government to it?
Of course. For me to be talking here means we have been talking. I can't be interested in talking to the state and not talking to the federal. But the point is, there are channels of communication that must be taken very seriously. I don't hold any office. Anybody can classify me as anything, but I don't hold any office. But a governor of a state cannot take up a serious matter with an honorable minister and it will be waved away. There must be attention. So you can't put something on nothing. We are making these things clear so that those who are in the channel of communication to the higher level will take it up. We are talking to them as we can, but the leadership of the state. Okay. Let me give you an example. The Ipuano Umuahia was the federal government. Is the federal government road. Until somebody died, he aroused a lot of hue and cry, and then information came. The governor dispatched a team of contractors to start something there.
A palliative work.
When I came here last time, I only asked for a palliative because the road in question is already a contracted road. It's a project with CE and CC. Yes. So it's not as if the job is to be rewarded. It's an ongoing project. Okay. So what we are saying is, can't you do something that your people can actually access the road? Is that nothing you can do? 20 million, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million can make people pass, pending when the contractors will go to site, which is the area that Seeing Akpabio will handle. But before Akpabio comes, there's something you can do.
A palliative
that can move. But that was not done.
Okay. The governor still has upwards over 1 year to still be in office, to still run as Abia State Governor.
Yeah.
So it's possible that he could do something. So what would you, via this channel, tell the governor that you want him to do to help?
What I want to tell the governor, His Excellency, very clearly is that he is going down in history, if nothing is done, as the governor of South Abia South Extraction that we rejoiced and jubilated for, who has abandoned his people. So he's a very serious man, very serious man. Whoever will tell him, and if he sees this, I am appealing to him. Your Excellency, please, Ukwa people need you to put something down in your name. It's very critical. We can't afford to have you for 8 years and nothing is done. Just like His Excellency T.O.G. T.O.G. spent 8 years in Abia State. There is not one block laid in Okwase. Oh, these are not good presidents. When people talk, say, oh, people are talking too much. They gave you a suffer there. They gave you NDDC. We are not just talking. These things are too humiliating and painful. Okay? How can a governor spend solid 8 years in your executive council? There is no award of a job project in an entire local government.
But there are projects of school constructions, there are projects of health center developments. Are there no projects?
Where?
You know what? Are there none like that?
Ongoing or commissioned.
So you mean there's none like that?
No. We are Asopadek in the last 1 year commissioned projects in Abia. Did you hear that Asopadek commissioned any project in Upper West? Not one. Not one. Tell me.
So let's go from there and look into your representatives in the House of Assembly. Do you think they have been doing their job effectively if this kind of complaints have not really been heard from them?
My brother, I want to be very straightforward here. For me, representation means speaking for your people. That's what it means for me. I don't know what people see it as. I have come to realize that a lot of people see it as an opportunity to empower themselves. Because when you get into office, there are things that come with it. Otherwise, I shouldn't be the one talking here. I don't have any office. Okay? But I don't know why somebody will be suffering and be smiling. At least say what is going on. Let people hear your voice. Let it be that nothing was done. So your people also will know that you have spoken. Mm-hmm. We are not hearing that. So, and we are not going to keep quiet because somebody who is supposed to speak did not speak. After all, it's just a mere privilege that people find themselves in positions of authority. So we have to use every available channel available to us to speak, to let the people know what we're going through. One of my friends came for a burial in my place. And he saw me. I didn't know he was coming for that burial. I didn't know he's related to. He saw me and he shouted, say, Pastor Dike, how do you cope? I said, now when I talk, you will understand why I talk the way I talk. Because some one of the people that say, hey, they do this, they give you this, they give it. I said, now when I talk, you will understand why I talk the way I talk. So for anybody to be at ease in a situation that is not normal, I don't know how to explain that. For me, I can't. I cannot.
Okay, I think we've dwelled on that issue very well. Let's look at another issue. Of course, this is the political period in Abia State. Everywhere is getting agitated, and the governorship, the gubernatorial activities is heightening up. People are now permutating. People are saying Abia North, are saying Abia Central. There is even NATO agenda. There are so many things. There is even the Sokoto district. What is your view about the Abia Charter of Equity? Let's start with that.
Very straight. I don't want to. My view is simple. I think some people want to hold Abia to ransom. Abia Charter of Equity have been given all kinds of interpretations, which means there are certain things we don't know about it. If somebody will come and explain that Abia Charter of Equity was written when the former governor wanted to transmit power to the south. Some say no, it was written before the creation of the state. All kinds of. But the point is this: no governor that ruled Abia under Abia Charter of Equity. Not one person. In 1999, when His Excellency Dr. Lokalo ran for governorship. He ran with Prince Vincent Obla. Strong context, and then he won. What if Vincent won? Where did people sit down and say, okay, now we are going to run like this? It's going to be after North, Central, after Central, South. There was no such discussion. In 2003, that's when you hear the popular one
of Inabaribe.
Inabaribe. It was South. You understand me? So where was the charter then? And you move again to 2007. Then you had the TA and the Onyema. Where's the Onyema? 2011, Sakrisa Koma ran. So people have been running. So I can say it's a circumstantial thing that somehow someone from Abia North got it. Somehow, okay, His Excellency Dr. Joseph did not give it to TA because he's from Central. I don't think so. He gave it to him because he found him fit at that time to be the one to succeed him. It wasn't because of any charter. Now, it was after him that when His Excellency TA wanted to leave, that was when they accentuated the issue of the charter. Because of a lot of people who were running there. So, oh, I made up, I think we want to give it to the SAC, which was okay. My idea is this: if the government wants to institutionalize the rotation of governorship election in Abia State, to avoid this hue and cry, you have the knife, you have the yam. Send it as a this into the state assembly. Let it become a law. Let it pass as a law that in Abia State the governorship rotates either zone A or zone B, or senatorial district A or senatorial district B, and it is passed and signed as a law. All this is will not be happening. Then when it's done, the turn for these particular people, the whole attention will go there. But there is no zone actually, or senatorial district that does not have an array of personalities, quality men who can run the state. There's no zone. There's no local government, in fact, that does not have people who can run the state. So if that is done, we won't be having all these things. Okay, there's another argument that is so worrisome to me, someone like me, and some people from Opa. The narrative of old Aba division and old Bende division. I told some people, if that argument is anything to go by, accept without conceding that it's valid. What it means is that the old Bende comprised from Omahia up, from what they are telling us. The old Abazon from the Umunato Umba down this way. The 9 local governments that make up Oka and Umba. That's the old Abazon. Now, the old Abazon, by the grace of God, are the ones in the saddle right now, completing their 8 years. And there's an agitation for it to continue, for them to complete 16 years. That argument, if it's valid, the question is, which people make up the old Abazon? The old Abazon is made up of the Umbas and the Okwas. These are 2 distinct nations. They are not the same people. We are brothers in one political bloc, but we are not the same people, culturally and historically. We're not the same people. Now, Ukwa is distant. Ukwa is wonderful people, having plenty of friends there. Wonderful people. Now, if Umba is doing 8 years, is it not fair and natural that if the Abazon is agitating, that there is 8 years remaining should come to me? It's not fair. But when I see the write-up say is it
but Pastor, before you go on, I need to correct some things. Number one is that even the old Abazon, based on the narratives and the Charter of Equity, which was written before the creation of the state, there are some parts of Abia North today that were not old Bende. Like Isukwato district, we're in Imo State.
They were in a keyway zone. That is what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you.
People like
All kinds of versions.
And there are even intellectual deposits that are saying that some parts of Eastern Angwa, North and South were even part of Old Bende.
Good.
So the narrations.
That's why I'm telling you that let us accept without considering on this particular narrative that it is old Abaso. And I try to look at it. The agitation for Umunato is strong. That's why I'm picking up.
Yes, Umunato agenda, okay.
The Osisioma, Ishelangwa, not the South. It's very strong.
Yes.
Then the question I'm asking is Ngwa of different variants? Is Ngwa divided? Is Ngwa different? That's the question I'm asking, because if we have Okwa and Ngwa, which is why we have
the old Abaso,
Okwa and Ngwa.
So Okwa is taking their shot.
No, taking their shot. It should come to Okwa naturally.
But why is Okwa not making a case
Who
for
said?
that?
Is it not what I'm saying here?
No, you seem to
No, that's not true. It's not true. No, let me correct you.
Hold on.
It's not true.
Pastor, hold on. Okay. Remember, you made a statement today, just now, that the agitation of the Umunato is very strong.
It's strong.
Why is the agitation not as strong as that?
No, listen. Sometime last year, stakeholders met in Okwa and resolved that it is the turn of Okwa to produce the governor, in line with the agitation of extension of another 8 years for old Abaso. They made that plea, signed by stakeholders.
Yes, but since then, most of your people are now supporting the
it's individualistic. No. Whoever is supporting whoever is doing that on a personal note. It's not the position of Okwa people.
Okay.
It's not. That is not the position of Okwa people. And let me also inform you. Part of what I'm doing here.
Okay, Pastor.
Part of what I'm doing here is also to educate. Let people realize that when you want to go deputy, you go with clean hands.
Yes, but the fact remains that we have, of course, I'm aware of that publication that time, which our platform also did publish. I'm also aware that recently the agitation for governorship in Abia State has been from Abia North, has been from Umunato, has been very strong. So when I say that of Okwa is not very audible, I have a fact.
No, you may not have a fact because we don't need to be shouting like others.
So how do you
see? We are under a normal circumstance. Yes. When you have an understanding, what will enter into a social contract is to protect their interest. You have your individual interest. You submit it to the general interest so that it can be protected. Now, why did President Goodluck Jonathan become president from a state that has only 8 local governments? It was because there was an understanding. Now, why I'm saying this is so that those who are pushing forward that narrative will know ab initio that they are wrong.
So what are you going to tell? What are you now telling the Ngwa axis of Old Bende? Old Abadan, sorry.
Good. What I'm telling them is that what they are pushing forward as fair and why I'm saying this is because if somebody comes from Umunato to contest election, I don't have any problem with that. On basis of competence and merit, I don't have any problem with that. But when you want to say it's your turn, it's an entitlement.
Old Abadan turn. Once you talk about Old Abadan
turn, you are wrong. Damn too wrong. You can't fly because you have taken. It is now the turn of Okwa people to go. If you want to run on competence, I am with you.
Okay with
I will support you if I like the person. But to say that it is the turn of Umunato, you should give it to them. Umunato Ngwa. So the question is, Okwa people, where do they fall in?
Okay.
You are holding the Senate. Hold on. You're holding the Senate for 16 years. Then governor wants to come. You want to take it again? Come on.
There is an allusion.
Come on.
There is an insinuation that during the election, Okwa becomes relevant. But after the election, it's as though Okwa will be dropped.
Many of our friends in Okwa doesn't like to hear that, but I have not stopped to tell them we must be sincere.
But is there a fact around that?
It's a fact. It's a fact. You hear a lot of people say that the relationship is a sham. It's a fact because nothing is happening, nothing is coming from it. You can't find. Otherwise, we know our distinguished Senator Inya Maribe, highly respected. I respect him a lot. On the floor of the National Assembly, you see him talking strongly about the marginalization of the Southeast in the Nigerian state. He makes a strong case there. But the same man is sitting on a seat that belongs to 2 brothers, Okwa and Ngwa, for 16 years.
Was an elective position.
Elective, of course. Now the agitation for that is still elective. To become Sadi to police president is not elective. You see, can I take such personality seriously? I can't. Charity begins at home. And now, as you speak now, people are also jostling again to still go to see the guy. I heard somebody telling the governor, meet me in the Senate from the same place.
I want to thank you. We're still on our program Focal Point. Remember that I'm the anchor person in Ministry Review, and Pastor Dike Nwankwo is still in the studio with me. We have discussed extensively on the infrastructural issues in Okwa, where we have looked at the Charter of Equity. So we are moving forward from there. Pastor, thank you for still being around. Now, the tenure of Governor Jose is gradually winding up. Of course, a time will come. No matter even to say 20 years, one day to be winding down. Sure. What kind of a personality, not name, what kind of a personality, what kind of an individual, what kind of character would you wish to take over from him?
Honestly,
remember I said no names, just
this is a very, very interesting question. But one of the best questions you've asked. Right now, Abia is on a state of emergency, regardless of what anybody may want to say. State of emergency in governance, state of emergency in education, state of emergency in entire facet of Abia economy. And so we need a personality, first and foremost, that is selfless, that understands governance and leadership. Governance and leadership. Because you see what is happening in Anambra already. A man was just elected and he abandoned party politics, realizing that this is time for governance. He left party structure, scampered, looked around to pick people, eggheads, 80 of them, assembled them in one place. Give me a blueprint. Tell me how to. There is no way such a person can fail. Because you brought experts from all over the place. Experts. Now people are saying, oh, the 80 people are too much. How can he bring 80 people? How many ministries do we have in Anambra State? Or like Abia State, how many ministries do you have? Now if you have like 20 ministries, or 17, or 18, and you share 4% per ministry, it's complete. You have exhausted the 8.
Mm-hmm. You'll be looking for more.
Good. And what those 4 people are going to do is to look at what is on ground. Look at what has been done, what can be done, and put it together and say, Mr. Governor, this particular ministry, this is how you can navigate and get to this point. This is what you can do to achieve this. And all the ministries produce that. The governor has a template. He doesn't need to start breaking his head. The ones he had Abilisho as the armor bearer, the one who would carry the body, he will now inject into it, and the state will fly. So, but the kind of person we need in Abia is that kind of personality, who is not a party conscious person, who is interested in developing Abia State. Abia has huge potential that an informed technocrat leading Abia under 1 or 2 years, people will start saying a different story. You know, one thing I like Nigerians for is that we change easily. We can change. We change easily. If you start getting it right,
yes,
today, everybody will align with you. That's Nigerians for you. So when people are crying, don't start raising people to be attacking them. It simply means you're not doing it well. That's where leaders miss it from this part. When people are shouting and talking and you open the ear, people are shouting and go back and think, look inward. You're not getting it right. But the moment you begin to get it right, the whole people, everybody will like. Let me give you an example. 3 months that Osibajo led this country, people were APC is this, APC is that, APC this. 3 months, everywhere changed. What happened? They saw a man who had focus. They saw a man who was pushing to a particular direction, and they killed him. So, in a nutshell, we need an informed technocrat, selfless person, who is not coming to enrich himself. Who is not coming to enrich himself. That's what we are struggling for. But if a state is getting allocation every month, yet you're owing salaries, the money is interest on there. There's no magic.
The money is not enough.
No, why will it not be enough? To pay salaries, and we hear the people are being owed, and you're arguing it as if
you know, the government divided the people. They say they are core civil servants.
no, all
call.
those things are semantics, and it's to make, paint a clearer, a better picture of the government. We are far away from Borno State, but we stay here and you hear what Governor Zulum is doing.
Yes. But let me ask you one very critical question, which is also very important for us. And you are an APC chieftain, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But is there nothing you can point to and say Governor Gozepazo did well here?
There is no way somebody will occupy a space for more than 1 year that wouldn't have done something. It's not, nobody can say that. But what we're saying is there was an expectation, there was a projection where the state is supposed to get to. The question is, are we there? The answer is no. Is there a progressive march towards getting there? The answer is no. Are there things on ground to show that we are steadily navigating through that place? The answer is no. What we see are pockets of things that must be done because you are getting money.
Like what have you seen?
For example, there are some roads that have been asphalted. That is not in doubt. Okay? But if you want to measure it as a state, you measure roads in per kilometers. Not Okemu Street, not Fox Road. You measure roads per kilometers. Now, as a state,
Yes.
how many kilometers have we done? How many kilometers do we have in the entire state? This is what you first of all have to find out. Before you even take over, you must know how many kilometers do we have in Abia State as a whole. And how many can I finish in 1 year? How many can I finish in 2 years? How many can I finish in 3 years? And the first step. Okay. So if you look at it from this angle, you see that we are still very far away behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at the Osopadek. Of course, that's one of the agencies of government which has a lot of connection to Ukwa.
Yeah, sure.
Because obviously Ukwa is the oil producing community.
The only
oil producing communities. The oil producing community.
You must put the only.
No, you can't.
So that can make sense.
No, I'm asking you a question. It's the only oil producing communities in it's the oil producing communities.
Only oil. You got stressed and went back to the arrow.
Okay, let's move forward.
Yeah.
Ukwa is the only communities in Abia State at the moment who are oil producing. And the Osopadek is obviously the commission or agency by government to manage anything we are getting from the federal government as regards the oil extracts that is being taken from Ukwa.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied so far with the progress of that commission of government, considering that at the moment the governor has not inaugurated a full board for that commission?
I am not satisfied because last time I came here, I raised issues about the location of the intervention agency, and I cited the example with NDDC. And I asked, why was NDDC not headquartered in Abuja? Why was he in Rivers State? So that he can be closer to me. When you say you are intervening in my case, I should be seeing you. When you say you are advocating for me, I should be seeing you. That way I relate with you and know that yes, you are doing this for me. The citing of Osopadek headquarters in Omaya was wrong, I believe sure. And I'm trusting God for a government that will change and correct that. That's number one. Number two, right now there's no board. Have sole administrator says for 3 months, 3 months has passed, I think another 3 months has passed. So what is holding the constitution of the board? Because a full board will enhance award of jobs, award of projects, because it will be discussed in the board. Now, I doubt if a sole administrator can award jobs unilaterally. So it's stalling the development of the host communities. Even though we see that Osopadek does not even serve the interests of the people. It doesn't. Because like I said earlier, the commissionings that we saw last year was no one was done in Ukwa at all. Not one commissioning. When anything I tell you, Go check it
But
out.
you are fully aware that that commission is not just for Okwa alone.
It is not. It is not. It is not. And nobody says it is for Okwa alone. But if I am supposed to be a major beneficiary, why deny me? Nobody. We say these things because there are deniers.
The commission have also outlined, though I don't have the record on board at the moment, they also outlined what in the last administration, what they were able to do in Okwa, even road gradings and so many other projects.
Road gradings, road grading of roads. When we are talking about commissioning of healthcare in other places, road normal asphalted roads, and you're doing road grading for the people that own the oil, that have the oil. It doesn't sound okay. Okay, what is stopping the construction of a board? Let's take it that the past board, that one is gone. Let's start on a clean slate. What we hear is that Okwa West people are not united. They are backstabbing each other. They are not. You people should go and put your house in order. What's the meaning of that? What's the meaning of that? Leadership, when people jostle for positions, they do all manner of things to get it. And if people are qualified for a position, more than one person, you can't tell them not to jostle for it. It's a natural thing. But the appointing authority is the one who put a stop to it. Because the moment you announce somebody, every agitation will cease, every lobbying will cease, every backbiting will cease. And by the way, as a leader, why are you listening to gossip? Why are you listening to gossip? Knowing that politicians in this part are known for gossips, and you're using it now against the people. That's what we hear. Oh, you people should go put yourself together and get one person. Where has he worked? Get one person from where? Wait, let me tell you. How do you get one person where everybody's interested? Who will be the umpire? If Obingo was asked to bring one person for governor, do you think he would have reached our governor? So it is difficult to, ask people who are all interested in one thing to say bring one person. You don't do that. What you do as a leader, you should know your people, your point men, people that you know are credible enough to work with you. Pick somebody there, appoint, and we move on. Keeping the whole place like this does not help the state, does not help the intervention agency, because nothing is done, nothing is being done. Even the palliative we are talking about in Obe House can be done by a super. If there is a board, they can handle it. So I am also using this opportunity to appeal to the governor. Mr. Governor, please, the people that can do this. You can't say you don't know them. Please, look inwards and pick somebody and constitute this board. Gossip will not stop today. It was there from the beginning. It will still be there. It's part of politics, they told us. So let us not be telling us that, these people do this, that. No. It's becoming embarrassing. It's everywhere, sir.
Okay, Pastor.
Yes.
Okay, Pastor. Well, thank God you've affirmed that gossip is part of politics.
It is. You can't. I tell them in church, see, you can't stop what people say about you. You can't stop them. But what is important is that you know who you are.
Okay, let's move to the next issue, which may be the last issue on our discussion plate today. We are looking at your party. There is this notion in the state that your APC, your party which you are a member in, that people feel that they could actually compete well with the present government in the next election, but that they are divided. People feel that they are beginning to distrust the capacity of APC to be a credible opposition against PDP considering their division. What is the issues in your party?
The issues in APC are the issues in every party. That is the issue of wanting to have an advantage position. It's the issue in every political party. There is no party that is free from this internal argument because human beings are involved. And these human beings have all kinds of interests they want to protect. Now, what is important is that does the party have mechanisms to overcome whatever challenges that they face? Even in the PDP, we know what is going on too. So, but in APC to be direct, a whole lot is being done. There's a reconciliation committee, which I believe is doing a great job. We have turned in their recommendations yesterday. We don't know the content, but we believe that as elder statesmen, where the committee is led by former governor of Nasarawa State, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, and Sullivan Chim and others, we believe that they must have done a good job, because political party is not a one-man show, because you can't win election alone. You cannot win election alone. So we believe that the recommendations will be inclusive, nobody will be shortchanged or excluded, and with that, if people have the intention to really salvage Abia, then I don't think there will be any issue. It would have been a problem if there was nobody to say, okay, what is your problem? Two people are fighting, and somebody say, come on, stop. So what's the problem? There's a respite, because one, if you state your case, I state my case, okay, I understand you. So this is this is this, and we move on. So I think that is in the process, and I know the party will come out stronger from it.
Okay, as one of the party leaders in Abia State, would you advise your party to zone the 2023 gubernatorial election?
No, APC has said right from time that they are not zoning. We haven't been in government before in Abia State, so we're zoning to who? So even the issue of zoning, almost all the zones have gotten a share. Almost all the zones have tested it. So who is marginalized now? Nobody's marginalized. So that's why we are saying let's allow competence to take the day, because there's nobody who can cry wolf now. Everybody have tested it. And even most of us who have tested it are not better off. So what we are saying now is let those who are competent, who have what it takes to steer the ship of Abia to take control. That's what I want to put it for.
So on a final note, what are you going to tell your party members as regards peace, working together, and making sure the party is strong enough to be a credible position in this state come 2023?
Yeah, we have been talking to ourselves in-house, that what you don't get today, you can get tomorrow. And it is God that gives power. People need to understand that power belongs to God and power comes from God. If God has destined that you're going to be this, nobody can stop it. No matter the advantage you think you have, if God says it's not you, it's not you. People must get that. There's the God factor in everything we do. So if you understand that, then you will give peace a chance and know that if it's the will of God for me, then nobody can stop me. I believe nobody can stop me, and that's why I cannot fight. Can't fight anybody, because one, if God says it's you, He will make it possible. He will make it possible. He will lead people to you that will make it possible. So you don't need to begin to kill yourself, kill others, backbite others, do all kinds of things because you want power. It doesn't come like that. You see people who fight so dirty. At the end, somebody who was just by the corner will be used to settle. Okay. It can't be you. Let it be this person. And he was not fighting. We have seen him make cases. So people must learn from this. And again, who even knows who will live till then? If you watch what happened in 2001, 2021, deaths right, left, and center, deaths everywhere. So you don't even know who is going to be alive that day or that period. So first of all, let's ask God for life. If we are alive, then what is the will of God will take place? That's my view on it.
Thank you very much, our people, for joining us in this program, and thank you, Pastor, for coming around.
I wanted to comment.
Okay, go on.
Before I leave,
go on.
You must have heard you and cry about the call process.
Okay.
Our honorable member.
Okay, yes.
I want to say something there. 2 weeks ago, immediately after the New Year, there were a lot of, shoutings and all kinds of things that the honorable member representing of our West Federal Constituency should be recalled, and that he's not done anything and all of that. Many of us have been talking. I personally have told him that he has done his bit. It's time to leave so that others can. And he said no, but he has done. I said I don't even want to talk about your performance, because we have seen people too who are doing very well. But I am looking at it. Even if you are the best legislator since 2007 in Impact, you can leave so that I can discover another best. It is not your property. It's not your property. So when you go, we will see another best, and you will know whether you are best or not. I've told him that one-on-one. Okay? But again, I also saw that the processes followed is a little flawed. It's a bit flawed, because
the processes follow for the recall.
Yes, it's flawed because one, this man is representing the constituency, not a local government. So if you want to institute a process,
it has to be
whether recall or not, it has to be with strong consultation with critical stakeholders of the entire constituency, so that they can decide whether the option will be recall or something else. How will you want to recall somebody that has just 1 year to go? The question is, where have you been all these 15 years? It now paints a picture of the proverbial tortoise story. We have been in the pit for 7 years. The 8th year they say we bring you, just shouting, oh no, bring me out. You know, so the question is, it casts some doubt on the intentions of what's happening. And many of us are beginning to see signs that these things have some ulterior motives. So I stand, even if I was consulted, I wouldn't have gone for the call. I wouldn't have gone for the call because we have not gotten it right from the beginning. If we are this conscious, we would have started early. But this young man has only 1 year to go. And we know that, no, who has been recalled in Nigerian legislature? Who has been recalled? So I don't like engaging in a voyage. So I want to advise our people. Let's come home and put structures on ground that can disallow him, even though he wants to pre-contest, that can disallow him. Because the question you ask, those talking about recall, are they going to vote in primaries? Are they delegates? Do they control delegates? So if you don't control delegates and you are talking about recall, and you are busy talking about recall, he wins again in primaries. What do? So let's do what is right. Ensure that we have structures on ground that does not allow him to get the ticket. That is very important. And again, to also know that this is the turn of our West people. It's not negotiable. In 2007, our son, Honorable Chinonye Makebu, was there 1999 to 2007. And he was graciously given the mandate to continue. He said, no, we are brothers. I don't know. May God bless his soul. I don't know whether we can have such people again. He refused to go. It was given to him on a platter. He said, no, let our brothers from the other end. And the honorable member confessed this to me and told me that he owes anybody in Makebu's house a favor. He told me. He really
remember the current house.
Yes, he told me. He mentioned it to me that he owes anybody alive in that family a favor because of that. So the man willingly relinquished the position for our brothers in Okwa East to go. And it is Okwa West that has the population. And it is also the Okwa West that give him the victory. So it will be wrong at this time. Very wrong. It will be insulting our sensibilities. It will be insulting all of us in Okwa West for anybody from Okwa East to come out again to contest. But we will see how it goes on the field. But I think Okwa people are happy, are ready that it will not be business as usual.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, sir.
For coming.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you for being on this show with us. We know you have all your comments. We will relate your comments much later. We thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. My name remains Emenikire with the anchor of this show. And have a wonderful day. And remain blessed. And keep watching all our platforms for our next program coming. Thank you and God bless.